I'm here with Tom Southam, Sport Director of EF Education-EasyPost, and this is one of the pink Cadillacs that's here at the race. So Tom, just a bit of background about the car and why you're using them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super cool sponsor to have. I mean, it's a car that stands out. It's different. I mean, everyone knows about the pink Cadillac, right? It's a bit more interesting than usual because it's obviously an electric vehicle, fully electric. We've done tests in the past with electric vehicles and tried to sort of bring them into our fleet. And this has given us the opportunity to go fully electric and try and do the biggest, longest race of the year, you know, fully electric, which is interesting in itself. The car's obviously a standout, and it's a cool sponsor to have on board, you know.
What's it like to drive?
It's different. EVs are different to you know, your normal cars, but in general, once you learn after sort of, I don't know, half an hour on the first day, then you get into it, and it changes you as a driver, as a person. I feel like I'm also like this much higher than everybody else in the convoy, which is great. So very nice so far.
And they're really punchy. You just touch the accelerator. I've driven one myself, and you know, it really jumps forward. Is that helpful in certain race situations?
I mean, it makes a massive difference if you have a short stretch of road to basically pass a group. You know, sometimes you pull out in your car and you put your foot down and nothing happens for that what feels like a long time. Obviously, this is immediate and you pass much faster, which is genuinely beneficial to the way we race. Obviously, everyone else in the convoy is in a different vehicle, so you have to kind of adapt around them, and you're 1 foot driving the whole time, which is great. So you get the feel of that, and yeah, it's really good.
So let's have a look inside. You want to go around that way. So Tom, here we are inside the car. Just tell me what we're looking at.
So this is sort of, yeah, our team car setup. I'll take you through what we've let's start with what we've added. This is our main kind of addition as a sports director, with your iPad with this, or so you can see the course and what's coming up. TV up here, which we've obviously put in as well so we can watch the race. 3 radios, radio tour, car-to-car radio, car-to-rider radio, all in there. And then because it's 2024, there's a million cameras in here filming us for every second of the day. And then, you know, your general car setup, of which this one is like more spacious than usual, which is quite nice.
What kind of battery life do you get from a full charge in the car?
So obviously putting the bikes on the roof makes a difference. I mean, this is where we had to work quite a lot with the engineers before bringing them here to project what the reality would be, because the battery is set for like 500 plus Ks every day when we get it new, but the car doesn't know that it's got a roof rack with bikes on, which affects the aerodynamics. Then you've got things like sustained climbing, which uses more sort of energy, but then also being electric, it regenerates on the downhills, which is quite interesting, because you get to the top of a climb and you've got X, and you go down the descent and you've got more. So it's all about learning for us and for the engineers how that's going to really adapt into this race. We've had an engineer here from Cadillac with us who's been taking details every day, seeing how it performs, because this is a normal car, you know, it has a totally different job to this, and this is under quite sort of stressed conditions. You know, the first mountain stage where we went up a valley for, I think it was 40 kilometers we're basically climbing for. That's an unusual scenario to be doing that at exactly 50 k's an hour with the bikes on the roof. So you could see the battery life was affected there, but then in other areas it's been fantastic. I mean, the first stage was 220 plus 16k neutral. No issues.
And do you have to think about your planning and your logistics when it comes to moving around and on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, so we have to obviously make sure we're full, and if that means if we go to the race and it's a long way to the start, these vehicles have to leave earlier and go. I mean, the ASO is actually really good, and they install a charging area for teams who want to do it. They've got electric vehicles in their fleet too. And then post-race, obviously everybody wants to get back very quickly, and that's where we have had not issues, but times when we've had to stop and you lose 15 minutes charging the car. But to be honest with you, everybody wants to get to dinner earlier, but 15 minutes it's not a whole lot of difference. And the staff actually have got their heads around it now, and I think it's one of those things where when you're the first or when you're the early people to do it, you go through the teething before everyone else is going to inevitably have to at some stage, and I think it will have to go that way.
Tom, I guess there's a lot of quite high-tech features about the car, but which one's your favourite?
Honestly, I think the noise cancelling feature is not only like quite nice for me because it brings the stress level down when there's a lot of people on the climb, which actually can add to sort of confusion sometimes, but also because we can hear the rider radio much clearer. I think normally I get about, let's say, 60% of what they're saying, but at this race in particular we've been like it's 90–95% of what the riders are saying. I think having that sort of quiet bubble, not now though, makes a big difference.
Just finally, I mean, you can hardly miss these cars. They're very in keeping with the EF Education EasyPost, bold and big branding, so it's great to stand out.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like you hear when you do ever have the windows open quite a lot on climbs, people going, oh Cadillac, which is kind of, I had someone in from Cadillac in the car and I was like, just wait and listen on the climbs, and it stands out a mile. I mean, it used to be it was just young girls going, oh, I like the pink one. But now we've broadened our appeal in the car.
Well, let's hope it turns into great results for you as well.
Thanks very much.